A Letcher County social media personality sues after she is banned from her children's school. And a local state senator wants to designate an official state mushroom. I'm Robin Tillman, and this is the Mountaintop Daily. A true crime podcaster in Letcher County readily admits she has made some enemies with her videos. But she was still surprised when two officials from the Jenkins Independent School District showed up at her front door with a letter banning her from the district's schools and all school-sponsored activities. Now she is taking them to court. I met with the woman and her attorney today to learn more about the case. Elizabeth Jones, sports photographer and host of Hillbilly Crimes, is suing the Jenkins Independent School District over a letter she received banning her from school property. The letter cites the reason being her multiple posts on social media of students participating in extracurricular activities which appear to be harassment and which have caused disruptions of the educational process.
We are suing on behalf of her First and 14th Amendment rights. It's about freedom of speech. She does have her true crime show. She's not done anything to constitute being banned.
The 14th Amendment states that no state shall deprive a person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Due process meaning a person must be given a chance to defend themselves before their rights are taken away.
She was given no warning of this. She's not been entitled to any hearing. There's been no mention of how she could get this rescinded or modified. It was just a basic letter, as you can see in the pleadings, as an Exhibit A. That's all she received.
Both Jones and her attorney feel the ban has more to do with her Hillbilly Crimes show and not her posts about sports.
A lot of people do not like her show or her there. I mean, it's made apparent and it's just well known. I think that has to do with a lot of it.
I've not been doing anything differently recently than what I've done, for the last 5 years that we've been at Jenkins. I've always covered the sports, each one of the sports. My kids play them all: basketball, baseball, football, whenever they had the team. And one of my children is one of the top athletes at our school. And so it's been very difficult to bite my tongue and just swallow the way that I've been treated there.
Until this case can be seen in court, Taylor has asked the judge for the ban to be lifted.
Yes, we filed for a temporary restraining order and an injunction. It was submitted before the judge in London, Kentucky. He will either rule on it without a hearing, but I anticipate a hearing that would then find, if he found that we were in the right and granted the temporary restraining order to lift it. That means that there's just a successful likelihood on the merits of her case.
Both the Jenkins school superintendent and school board attorney declined to comment. Reporting for Mountaintop News, I'm Robin Tillman. Did you know that Kentucky does not have an official state mushroom? That could change thanks to a bill introduced in this year's state legislative session. 29th District Senator Scott Maiden, who represents Floyd, Knott, Letcher, Bell, and Harlan counties, has co-sponsored Senate Bill 19 with 12th District Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe. That bill would name the indigo milk cap the official state mushroom of Kentucky. The indigo milk cap is an edible mushroom, which is described as having a bitter, peppery flavor and coarse, grainy texture. And for those wondering why Kentucky would choose that mushroom over the much more popular morel, morels have been the official state mushroom of Minnesota since 1984. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at the planning that goes into all the events you see in downtown Pikeville. That's coming up when the Mountaintop Daily continues. But first, sports and weather.
With Mountaintop Sports, I'm Dave Stanford. In high school basketball and boys action last night, it was Belfry over Mingo Central, 72-41, and Lawrence County over Magoffin County, 79-52. In girls action, Lawrence County over Perry County Central, 60-55, Paintsville over Martin County, 68-63, and Phelps over Elliott County, 68-19. Marshall University guard Jalen Spear has been named to the Sun Belt Conference Men's Basketball Player of the Week. The Gainesville, Florida native averaged 23.5 points, 7 assists, and 4.5 rebounds in a pair of Marshall wins over Georgia State and Appalachian State. Spears shot 51.6% from the field and nearly 67% from three-point range on the week. He opened with 26 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists in Wednesday's win over Georgia State, then followed it with 21 points and 7 assists in Saturday's victory over App State. Spear now has 89 assists on the season, ranking 22nd nationally with his 5.9 assists per game, sitting 25th in the country. Marshall returns to action tonight at James Madison with the tip set for 7 p.m. In women's college basketball, Kentucky senior point guard Tawny Morgan has been named the Ann Myers Drysdale National Player of the Week by the U.S. Basketball Writers Association and Co-SEC Player of the Week. Morgan earned the honors after a historic week that included 24 points, 12 assists, and 0 turnovers in a road win at 5th-ranked LSU on New Year's Day. She capped that performance by drilling the game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer, handing LSU its first loss of the season and giving Kentucky its highest-ranked road win in 52 years. Despite travel issues that forced the Wildcats to miss a full day of practice, Morgan followed it up with 18 points and 14 assists in a home win over Missouri. She accounted for more than two-thirds of Kentucky's scoring in both games and became the first player in program history to record back-to-back games with at least 18 points and 12 assists. Morgan remains the only player in the nation averaging at least 13 points and 9 assists per game. Kentucky is back in action Thursday night at Alabama before returning home Sunday to host 5th-ranked Oklahoma. For more sports coverage, follow Mountaintop Sports on Facebook or visit mountaintop.news and click on the Sports tab. With Mountaintop Sports, I'm Dave Stanford.
When the government took Social Security away from honest Eastern Kentuckians, Attorney Ned Pillersdorf got the hearings declared unconstitutional. When the women guards were harassed at Little Sandy Jail, Ned fought back, securing a $1 million verdict at trial. And when the state tried to shut down Cordia School, Ned fought back and kept the school open. Attorney Ned Pillersdorf fights for the underdog, and he's ready to fight for you.
Hey, it's Kristen Mulcahy, Marketing Manager at Appalachian Wireless. We've all been there. You've tried one of those big carrier promises? Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Until you read that fine print. Then suddenly you're on hold. Again. And at Appalachian Wireless, we do things a little different. We answer your calls, we help solve your issues, and guess what? We work for you. Experience matters, right? Our team, we're the real wireless experts. So why choose anyone else? Visit one of our retail locations today or online at AppalachianWireless.com to see how we can better serve you. Because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
If you keep an eye on the many events that take place in downtown Pikeville, you'll notice there's a lot going on. There's always something new happening at least every month and often every week. But who is keeping track of all those events and making sure there's no overlap? Nick spoke with the city to find out more.
The Pikeville Tourism Committee has been taking a look at dates for the new calendar year and planning out the city's biggest events. From Hillbilly Days to the Mountain Girl Experience, planners want to draw in as many people to bring the community closer. Executive Director of Main Street Tourism and Public Relations, Jill Dotson, tells us more.
So January is always a busy time internally for our tourism and Main Street department because we take that time to plan for the year. And of course, a lot of planning starts the year prior to with dates and things of that nature. But we this week have been working really hard on getting some hard dates put on the calendar. Of course, Hillbilly Days is always the one when everyone really comes together, and that's kind of the kickoff for event season and festival season in Pikeville, really and around the region as well. So we have those dates in place. And then, we plan for events in May. We plan for the 4th of July. Obviously, in the fall, we'll have the Moonshine Music and Makers Festival. Mountain Girl will be coming up with their group also later on this year. And then, of course, we just ended Winterfest, but we start planning for Winterfest in January.
Planners are always thinking of ways to innovate and add more interactivity to the city's events. There will be no shortage of things to look forward to in Pikeville for 2026.
We always want to look at ways that we can improve on any event that we do. And certainly there are some things that work really well, and then some things that maybe have worked well at one point and then have trickled off over the years. So we look at ways to either revamp or maybe eliminate that particular event for for the coming year. And that's what we do when we all come around that table. Like you mentioned, we come together with the arena, with our City Hall staff, tourism, Main Street, the Appalachian Center for the Arts, obviously our police and fire department are massive components of every single thing that we do in the city. And we all have to be one big team and work together to make sure that every event that happens in the city goes off without a hitch and everything is organized and planned down to the minute or to the second, if you will.
Reporting for Mountaintop News, I'm Nick Collum.
That will do it for this edition of the Mountaintop Daily. Be sure to check us out at 6 p.m. every weekday on Mountaintop TV, the Mountaintop TV app, and the Mountaintop News Facebook page. With your Mountaintop Daily, I'm Robin Tillman from Mountaintop News.